Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. This is Ultimate Beginner Tutorial Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, definitely check out this video on the right. And in this video, I'm going to share 20 more tips and tricks that I wish I knew about Disney Dreamlight Valley when I started playing the game. If you're a beginner, I highly recommend watching both parts because there is no facts that are the same. There is 20 completely different facts in each of these videos, and all of them are extremely useful if you're just starting out. If you're not a beginner, you should still watch both of the videos because I bet you're gonna find at least 1 or 2 points that you didn't know. Also, if you found at least 1 point in this video that was helpful to you, I would really appreciate if you click that subscribe button and like this video. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Tip number 21. When you drink a potion, you can actually check how many more uses you have left. And there is also a limit on how many uses you can have at the same time. If you click up on your controller, you can see every single potion that you currently have active. I have one use left in my Miracle Shovel Varnish, and I have 8 more uses left in my Miracle Pickaxe Polish. Now, the limit is a new thing. It wasn't... there wasn't a limit before, but for some reason developers decided to add the limit of 50. So you cannot have more than 50 at once. It's a very strange decision because it leads to people absolutely wasting their potion. Also, don't mind my valley. I'm currently remodeling, so everything has been taken down and super messy. I'm gonna redecorate everything from scratch. So right now I have 8. So if I drink and more miraculous Pickaxe Polish, I add 25 more to my count, so now I have 33. But now what's gonna happen if I drink another one? It's gonna cap out at 50. So I basically wasted a whole 8 uses in my potion, and the game didn't even give me a warning that it's gonna be wasted. However, if you are at 50, the game is not gonna let you drink another one. It's gonna tell you that you are at the maximum count. But if you were at 49, if you hit your rock once, it will let you drink another potion and basically waste 24 uses in that potion. And considering how difficult these potions are to craft, it's an extremely poor mechanic and something you have to keep track continuously. Do not drink potions unless you run out of them. This is the only way to make sure that you don't waste any uses. Tip number 22. If you see a dry flower, water the dry flower. So here's how dry flower works. I've searched my entire valley right now and I couldn't find a single dry flower. So I'm just going to include a clip of how it looks and how you water it. Just you water it as normal with watering can. The reason you want to do that is because there are memories that can be unlocked only by watering flowers. For example, this Moana memory can only be unlocked by watering flowers. And this is the hardest task, the hardest memories to complete in the entire game. So the way the dry flowers work, every single day at 5 a.m. local time, the same time where the night thorns and blue chests spawn in your valley every day, you will get, in one random biome in your valley, 2 to 5 flowers will become dry. Now, here is the kicker. If you open the game for the first time during the day and it's raining, you are not going to get the dried flowers. Now, obviously, rain kills dried flowers. It converts it to regular flowers. So, if you miss your chance, if you open the game, it's raining, that's it. That day, you're not going to get a single dry flower. So what happens if you find a dry flower? You probably gonna find a couple more within the same biome. And if you got lucky enough to not have rain since yesterday and you haven't watered flowers yesterday, you might still have them in your valley. So you might have 2 biomes with dry flowers. But it's pretty rare because in my valley it rains pretty much every single day. One little tip on how to find dry flowers is to just... if you don't use flowers in a decoration of your biome, just put them all, the naturally spawned flowers in the biome, in one area. This way it's going to be much easier to check. You can literally just go into furniture mode and check every one of your flower enclosures. And as you see, there's no more flowers in this biome, so these are the only flowers that can go dry. There's literally no good reason to do this, just to collect those memories. So if you don't care about memories, don't worry about this one. But if you do want to complete everything in the game, this is something you might want to include in your daily routine because these memories are by far the hardest to get in the game. Tip number 23. How many times have you gotten, for example, a task in the star path to give gifts to a specific character, and you have to find them, you have to talk to them, you have to basically go to the given menu just to see what are their favorite things of the day. Well, there's an easier way to do this. You can just open your collection and then find a specific character that you want in the character menu. For example, I want to give gifts to, let's say, Scar. Then I can just hover over the Scar in the collection, and you can see the favorite things of the day right there on the bottom right corner. This way, it's going to be much easier to find the items before even needing to find the character. You can just check it in the menu and then put them in your inventory and then go search for the character then. Tip number 24. There are special settings that have been added about 1 or 2 updates ago that allow you to make time bending and fishing so much easier. If you go to gameplay, you can see hold to complete fishing and hold to complete time bending. There is also a couple other options that you might want to check out, but these two are the ones that are absolute game changers. With those options enabled, fishing becomes so much more easier. Instead of clicking constantly, as soon as you get a bite, you just hold the square. Well, for me, it's a square. It could be a different button for you. And that's it. No need to repeatedly mash buttons. And also, if you're trying to complete a Dreamlight duty that requires you to catch 100 fishes uninterrupted in a row, this is the way to do it. This way, you cannot literally fail a catch. It's beautiful. It's same for time bending. I was so tired constantly doing the mashing the buttons when you're trying to get a fragment. This way, once you find it, you can literally just hold the button, same as fishing, and until you get it in your inventory. But you do need to hold a different button, so taking some getting used to, but not mashing it, it's good for your fingers and it's good for your mind. Tip number 25. You know how sometimes Ursula or Ariel, if you don't have them in their human form, they will spawn in the ocean far, far away, and if you need to talk to them for the quest, it's really, really annoying, and there's actually an easy way to get them close to you. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a clip of it because it doesn't happen very often, but basically if you see Ursula or Ariel far away there, you can just go into the camera mode and then point it on them and just go into selfie mode, and they are gonna swim towards you, and then once you exit, you can just approach them. They should be pretty close to the shore, and you'll be able to talk to them. Tip number 26. If you just started playing and you haven't unlocked certain areas yet, but you do want to be able to get there, for example, to feed a critter or gather the resources, there is a simple trick that you can use to do so. So if you have one half of the biome unlocked, you can get to the blocked off half by just moving your well to that half. All you need to do is just place the well on the other side and just teleport to it. Very simple. This way you can access areas that you haven't progressed enough in the story to unlock the means to break these obstacles. It doubles your potential resources gathering. It gives you access to certain new resources that otherwise you might have to wait for longer. It's just a great trick overall. It works in both Glade of Trust and in Frosted Heights for the same problem. Tip number 27. There is a chest in this game called Vintage Chest. This is actually the chest that you first find inside your house when you start the game, and there is actually a way to get more of them from the Scrooge shop. There is 2 variations. There is dark and there is light. And the beautiful thing about this chest is that its inventory is shared between different chests. So I can place this gem in the storage on my floating island, and if I place the same chest anywhere else in the valley, I'll be able to get access to the same inventory. This is extremely useful for example, having one of these chests in every biome. That's one of the most common scenarios I see people do. And for example, when they gather flowers, they all put them in a vintage chest, and in the end, you can just collect all of your flowers inside one chest and move it to your flower storage, or just keep it there. If you play Minecraft, it basically is an ender chest in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Tip number 28. You have been digging for resources, or you just have a giant pumpkin field that you want to disappear. Basically, you're left with a bunch of holes in your valley. It might be very tempting if you want to cover them to just dig over them another time. But imagine if you have a half of your biome covered in holes. Well, there's multiple ways to get rid of them much faster. Number one, go into your furniture mode, find a rug, and just place it over your holes. Doesn't have to be a rug. It could be absolutely any furniture item. And then if you have multiple holes, you can just pick up this rug and move it over more holes and more holes and more holes. Important thing to remember is that after you finish covering all the holes, you need to keep this rug in your valley before you exit the furniture mode. Otherwise, all the holes are going to come back. Oh, look, it's raining. Great. So no dried flowers for me today. After that, you can go into the furniture mode once again and remove your furniture item. This step is very important. For some reason, if you don't leave the furniture that you used to cover the holes are going to come back. Another way that is even simpler is to just leave your holes. Because after 48 hours... I'm pretty sure it's 48 or 24. At one point it was 24, but I think they increased it to 48, but I might be wrong. The point is, after 1 or 2 days, the holes are going to disappear by themselves, so you don't even have to do anything. I love the problems that fix themselves. Tip 29. When you're starting out, the best way to level up characters is probably going to be hanging out with them when you do various activities in the game, because almost everything you do is going to give them extra experience. But what if you want to level them up fast? There are ways to do this. Each character gets a certain amount of experience from items that you give to them. The highest amount of experience they get are from their favorite things of the day, but they're limited to 3. But thankfully, there are other items that you can give them to give them the most experience. Here is the list. Absolutely best item for the best experience that is renewable in the game is going to be Purified Night Shard, crafted with Dream Shards and Night Shards. You might not have a lot of them, but if for some reason you got a huge amount of Dream Shards and Night Shards, you can convert them into Purify Night Shard and use them as experience booster. Nothing comes even close, except shiny gifts, but those are not really renewable and probably not going to be a source of experience for beginners. Now, after the Night Shards, the next most efficient way to level up characters is by gifting them gems or Vitalis crystals. Now, this could be a good way to actually get rid of your shiny gems. A lot of recipes require regular gems, but shiny gems usually don't have any purpose, except maybe being a favorite gift. So if you have a lot of shiny gems, or you just have a lot of a specific color of a gem that you don't mind getting rid of, just use them to level up your villagers. After gems, the next best thing is food. The more expensive the food is, the more experience it's going to give. So if you, for some reason, have a lot of food, honestly, if you're a beginner, probably using that food for energy or for money is going to be much better than using it to level up characters. But the next way is probably the easiest way for beginners is flowers. Flowers is actually pretty good source of experience. Absolutely any flower will work, and they're very easy to get if you're a beginner. If you just collect flowers every single day, you can level up your character with just I would say probably 6 to 7 stacks of flowers could get your character to level 10. So yeah, if you need to level up your character fast, flowers is the way. Tip number 30. You have been farming pumpkins and you have your full inventory of pumpkins and you want to sell them fast. Well, before you had to basically individually click on every stack, select 50, okay, basically do this. What if I told you there is an easier way? All you need to do is just select one stack of pumpkins and just hold select button, and it's gonna select every single stack of the same item in your inventory. You can do this with pumpkins, then you can hold the soufflés and it's gonna select all of your soufflés. Literally game changer when you need to sell a lot of items in one click. Pretty much works on every console, and whatever button you use to select, either left mouse button on the computer, you just hold it, or for me it's an X on my PlayStation controller, I just hold it and it selects every single stack, and now I can just click sell and make myself a 1.3 mil like that. Tip number 31. So you participated in DreamSnap, you submitted your submission, you opened the game on the day of the reset, but you do not see any results in your inbox. So there's a simple trick. Most of the time you will get the results if you just restart the game. On certain platforms, I never get results on the first load after the challenge resets. I always need to restart the game. So if you don't get your results right away, there is two options. Either it's not ready yet, sometimes it might take up to a few hours to deliver the results, but most likely just a simple game restart is gonna make sure that results land in your inbox. Tip number 32. You can sit on dreamlight trees, just like Eve is sitting on one right now. This is, in my opinion, it's not just useful for being able to sit on it, but also useful for using it in dream snaps, where you can have a character sitting on your dreamlight tree. Eve, can you please move? Okay, I cannot sit on it because Eve is Eve is sitting on it. Fine, I'll get my own tree. Basically acts like a bench. You can sit on this branch, and it's super cool. Tip number 33. Always buy Star Path, the premium version. Now, this one might be a little bit controversial, but I see the comments of people saying every day, I wish I purchased this Star Path. I just started playing. I wasn't sure how Star Path works, so I didn't realize I should have bought it. Recently, Star Paths were a little bit too grindy, and if you just started out, it might be a bit difficult to complete because it might require some characters you don't already have. But if you are in a good position, if you feel like you can complete it, and if you like playing this game, this is, in my opinion, the best investment you can do, spending your moonstones on Premium Star Path. The real cost of Premium Star Path is only 400 moonstones, meaning you are going to get the remaining, so 2100 moonstones, that's how much moonstones you can usually get back from the Premium Star Path, meaning in the end you're paying 400 for all of this stuff that comes with the Star Path. It's the best deal you can get. Tip number 34. Dreamlight Tree. Did you know that Dreamlight Tree can assume many different forms? I'm gonna put a chart on screen right now. Basically, the more Dreamlight duties you have completed, the more evolved your tree is going to look. So if you go to basically all of these achievements right here, the more you have fully claimed and completed, the bigger and wider your Dreamlight Tree is going to be. So each white bar in these tasks counts towards the progression, and right now on the screen you can see basically how many white bars you need to collect to progress to each next stage of the tree. There is 5 stages in total, and I'm currently at stage 4. Should be pretty close to stage 5. I have never especially grinded Dreamlight duties. This is just from playing the game and completing Star Paths since pretty much day 1, and I'm almost at stage 5, so it's no rush. It's gonna get completed eventually by you just playing. Tip 35. This one has to do with a very special item that's called Daisy's Blooming Wardrobe. Now, this item is only available from Scrooge Store, and there is one other chest that looks just like this one. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but you get it from Daisy's Quest. You get one of these because Donald built it for you. And that one does not work the same way as this one. This one needs to appear in your Scrooge shop, and once you find it in a Scrooge shop, you can buy multiples of it. And what's so special about this item is that it's the only item in the game that you can buy unlimited amount from Scrooge that acts like a large chest. It has 6 rows of storage inside. I have a whole video on my channel. There is multiple items that have a certain amount of storage, and this is the only one that is not craftable. There is large chest, there is the cooler. Those you can craft, and those require ridiculous amount of resources to be the size of the large chest. This one you can basically go to Scrooge and buy 1,000 off, and it can solve your storage problems until you get further in the game and collect enough Dreamlight to craft those nice, beautiful chests. So definitely be on the lookout for this item in the Scrooge shop. It's gonna solve your storage problem in the early game very easily. Number 36, and this one is very interesting. I did not realize a lot of people had no idea about it. How skins can be placed separately. I have seen a lot of people on Reddit actually not realizing this until way later into the game. So if you have bought or got from the Star Path a skin for a house, the ones that you can find right here. So how do you change your main house skin? You just need to click on it, and here you can click on replace, and you can basically choose any form to turn your main house to. For example, French bakery house. Got it right here. So this is my main house. Now, you can also place every single house that you own, every single house skin that you own from house menu in the furniture as a separate house. And another mini tip inside this tip is that you can have 2 of the same houses in the valley. All you need to do is switch your main house to that house skin that you want, just like we did right now. For example, I want to have 2 Tinkerbell houses. So I switch one of my main house into the Tinkerbell house skin. And then I can go into houses menu in the furniture and actually place one more Tinkerbell house separately. So this way you can have double of the same houses. It can be part of some really cool builds, and sometimes for the symmetry in Dream Snaps, it's very nice to be able to have 2 of the same houses at once. Next tip, and this one is something I actually learned very recently, and it completely blew my mind. Do you know how sometimes you want to place a lot of the same item? For example, I want to put a lot of sparkles for Dream Snaps, but if I have a stack of marshmallows, or if I have a stack of flowers, I'll have to either drop it all or split it one by one. Like I have to split one if I want to drop them separately. But there is an easier way. All you need to do is to just drop one. For example, I want to do 1 flower as well. And now all I need to do to be able to place multiple of them is to click on the duplicate, the X, the button that allows you to grab another copy of the item. For example, it doesn't even highlight that you can. It only highlights if you do this to some kind of a furniture item. Like, see, you can see duplicate right behind me. Right here, on my PlayStation controller, it's a square, or I usually press X on my keyboard. The same thing can be done to the items from your inventory. I cannot believe how long it took me to realize. So if you see an item on the floor that you know you have multiples of in your inventory, like I just placed, I have more marshmallows, I have more flowers, you can press the same button, the same duplicate button while hovering over this item, and it's gonna pull one more from your inventory and you can place it. So this makes it so much easier to place items nicely, that you don't have to separate your stack multiple times. And as soon as you run out of item in your inventory, it's just gonna not let you do that anymore. You can do the same with flowers. If you have multiple and you just want to be able to like create nice patterns with them, you can just literally use the duplicate button, and it makes it so much easier to work with the items. I cannot believe I didn't know that until maybe a couple weeks ago. Tip number 38. Sometimes it might be difficult to find characters on the map. There is a pretty easy way to do this. This only works if the character is not currently in the restaurant or in the Scrooge shop. So, first thing, if you're looking for somebody, let's say I'm looking for Daisy. So I'm gonna check the restaurant. She is not in the restaurant. I'm gonna check the Scrooge shop. She is not in the Scrooge shop. And for some reason, let's say I cannot find her on the map. So all I need to do is to enter her house. And then she either is going to be inside the house, or once you exit the house, she is gonna spawn in front of the house. Sometimes it takes a couple tries to make this happen. It's a little bit glitched, the system. You can try this with other characters. For example, I have Oswald's house here. Now, I don't think Oswald is scheduled to be in any of the restaurants, and he is inside. For some reason, everybody decides to be inside right now. All right, let's try this with Merida. Let's see if she's inside. She is. How come everybody I'm trying to find are inside? Anyway, the point of the tip is entering somebody's house and then exiting most of the time is going to make sure that the villager spawns near or inside their house. Tip number 39. Sometimes when you work in Dream Snaps or just playing the game normally, sometimes a character will get frozen or stuck, like this Merida. As you see, she becomes... I can pretty much walk through her. I cannot do anything, move her, and force her doing her animations. She's just stuck. She could be... Sometimes she is stuck without having a body. Basically, I can go through her. Sometimes she will get stuck. Any character, sometimes they will get stuck, but you can still bump into them, but they're not gonna move. They're just gonna be frozen in place. In any case, if the character is not doing any of their animations and just appear to be completely frozen or stuck, the easy way to make them unstuck without needing to restart the game is to just hang out with them.
It's good to see you.
And first, it's not going to seem like she cares, but if you go to a body of water and start fishing, she's actually going to teleport to stay right beside you. There we go. And that's it. She should be unfrozen now. And she should be, you should be able to interact with her and make her go somewhere and do her animations and act like normal. This is a huge lifesaver. I have this happen when I work on DreamSnaps so often, and it's nice to be able to get them unstuck easily. And final tip of the video, number 40. You can apply your wings as a glider. I have seen a lot of people having trouble with it, so I decided to include it in this video, especially for beginners. If you have any wings in your wardrobe, you might be tempted to just equip them and think that now when you glide, you're going to be able to fly. But it doesn't actually change your glider to the wings if you just equip them from the wing section. What you need to do is to go to wardrobe and then select gliders and then equip them from the gliders section. If you do that, then it's gonna not just equip the wings, but also is gonna make them your glider. So now when you glide around, you can fly. By the way, part of the tip, you can fly in Disney Dreamlight Valley if you have any wings. It's pretty amazing. By the way, another mini tip is in order to be able to glide, you basically need to press the sprint button. For me, it's L1. You can also change in the settings which button does the sprint. Now, I don't have this option, but in controls, you should have an option to be able to switch. I think on Switch and some platforms, it will allow you to switch to a different layout. But in order to be able to glide, in order to be able to use the glider, you need to have a golden bar in your energy bar. For that, you just need to eat a cooked meal once your energy bar is full, and all excess energy is going to turn into the gold bar, which allows you to glide. And once you glide, you're going to deplete this bar slowly. But it's the fastest you can move in the game, and it looks super cool, so I highly recommend. Alright guys, these are 20 more tips, part 2 of our ultimate Disney Dreamlight Valley beginner tutorial. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video. I am definitely going to be making part 3, probably in this year. I'm still working on 20 more tips to include. There is so many cool tips and tricks about Disney Dreamlight Valley, and it's impossible to share them all in one video. So if you wanna be here and get notified as soon as I upload part 3, please subscribe to the channel, and huge thanks to all amazing supporters. These people are the people who are keeping this channel alive and allow me to every single day upload a Disney Dreamlight Valley video. Either some fun tips and tricks, or Reddit reviews, or DreamSnap inspiration, or whatever it might be. It's just absolute incredible community, and I would love you to be a part of it. If you're new to this channel, I implore you to give it a chance. Click the button and check out other videos on the channel. Also check out Dreamer's Portal. It's completely free and it allows you access to over 100,000 dream snaps from other players and the results. You can see what did well in previous weeks. You can get inspired for the current challenge. It's a pretty cool place to hang out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh,